Last year, Platin Casino, an online casino company based in the UK, posted a job advertisement to look for an analyst for a period of 2 months, working 35.5 hours per week to watch the animated TV series The Simpsons and record any events that may become reality in the future. Then report to the company's prediction team. The successful candidate will receive a salary of $6,800 and a daily donut. Sounds like a dream job, right? At first, people thought it was a prank, but the company was dead serious. They claimed that The Simpsons had predicted many real-world events, like Donald Trump's presidency, the 2013 horse meat scandal, and the coronavirus pandemic. So, they wanted to put out a call for an analyst to help them uncover hidden prophecies in the show. It is not surprising that people in the casino industry want to know what the future holds. So, in today's video, let us examine some of the show's prophecies that have materialized in reality and speculate on possible future events. Disney acquires 20th Century Fox. In an episode aired in 1998, a character in the show wrote a script for 20th Century Fox. However, what caught viewers' attention was the sign outside the company's headquarters, which read, "A division of Walt Disney Co." Fast forward 19 years later, and what seemed like a mere joke on The Simpsons turned out to be prophetic. In 2017, Disney actually acquired 20th Century Fox for a whopping $60 billion. Global disasters in consecutive years. In the Treehouse of Horror 31 special episode that aired during Christmas 2020, the situation in Springfield was described as dire. It was election day in the town, but Homer overslept and missed voting. By the time Inauguration Day rolled around on January 20th, 2021, Springfield had become a post-apocalyptic wasteland. To add to the eeriness, 4 horsemen appeared in the sky over Springfield, just like in the Book of Revelation. The flags bore the ominous titles Plague, Famine, War, and Treehouse of Horror 31. Over the past 2 years, we've seen our fair share of global disasters, including pandemics, famines, and wars. The Simpsons' portrayal of the world's end may have been exaggerated, but it certainly hits close to home. President Donald Trump. In the 2000 episode Bart to the Future, the show goes next level on its prediction talents when it name drops Donald Trump as having been POTUS. The episode explores what Bart's life would have been like when he got older. It features Lisa being president. While in the Oval Office, we hear her say, "As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump."
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
In 2017, Trump became the 45th president of the United States. Predicting issues in the US presidential election. In Season 20, Episode 4, aired in 2008, the father Homer prepared to vote for the presidential candidate Obama. But when Homer pressed Obama's name on the screen, the opponent's name lit up, and the voting machine defaulted to the opponent candidate. 4 years later, in the 2012 US presidential election, a similar incident occurred at a voting machine in Pennsylvania, where a voting machine selected Mitt Romney when a voter tried to vote for Obama. Coincidence? Predicting the Nobel Prize winner 6 years in advance. In Episode 1 of Season 22, aired in 2010, the Simpson family sits in front of the TV watching the Nobel Prize ceremony, with Bart's friends also present. In a betting pool sheet held by Bart's classmate Martin, Bart's best friend Milhouse predicts that economist banked Robert Holmstrom will win the Nobel Prize. Amazingly, 6 years after the episode aired, Holmstrom did indeed win the Nobel Prize in economics. It's almost as if Milhouse had a crystal ball. London's Skyscraper. In Season 6, Episode 19 of The Simpsons, titled Lisa's Wedding, there is a brief glimpse of London's Big Ben clock tower, with a futuristic-looking skyscraper towering behind it. However, at the time of the episode's airing in 1995, no such building existed in London. It took another 17 years for a skyscraper that looked strikingly similar to the one in the show to be built in London. The building in question is known as The Shard, and at a height of 309 meters, it's the tallest building in the United Kingdom. It's incredible to think that The Simpsons may have predicted the future once again. The September 11 attacks and the Twin Towers. In a 1997 episode of the TV show, a travel guidebook is shown with a page featuring the Twin Towers, resembling the number 11 when viewed from afar. On the left side of the towers, there is the number 9 and the letters USD, which together form 9/11. The top of the page also reads New York. This seems to be a prediction of the attack on the World Trade Center's 110-story Twin Towers in Lower Manhattan, New York City, on September 11, 2001. Discovering the secrets of the universe before scientists. In a 1998 episode of The Simpsons, Homer played a role of an inventor and scribbled a series of complex and incomprehensible formulas on a blackboard. Little did anyone know at the time, one of those formulas actually predicted the mass of the Higgs boson particle, also known as the God particle. Fast forward to 2015, when Dr. Simon Singer, a particle physicist at the University of Cambridge, pointed out the connection. The Higgs boson is a crucial component of our understanding of the universe, as it explains why particles have mass and how they interact with each other. Scientists have been predicting the existence of the Higgs boson since 1964, and it took billions of dollars and years of research to finally confirm its existence in 2013. Yet, the mathematical formula for the particle's mass was almost perfectly written on a blackboard in a TV show 15 years earlier. The margin of error between the formula that Homer wrote and the value calculated by scientists was less than 1 in a billion. This is just one example of the show's creators' meticulousness and attention to detail. Even though it was just a passing detail for a few seconds, they still got it right. Murder Hornets. In the same episode that The Simpsons predicted the pandemic, they also gave clues about another outbreak. During the episode Marge in Chains, a crowd of people demanded that they wanted a placebo to cure their illness. When one of the members of the crowd pointed at a truck that could hold the placebos, the crowd knocked the truck over, releasing a swarm of killer bees. Similar to around the same time as the COVID-19 outbreak, there were reports of the Asian giant hornet appearing in the US, a type of killer bee. The Asian giant hornet was claimed to be a threat to the bee population, and was reported that they could destroy an entire bee colony, as mentioned by the New York Times. Legal Reeferino in Canada. Homer and Ned in the Midnight RX in The Simpsons. The 2005 episode Midnight RX sees Ned tagging along with Homer and Grandpa's smuggling trips to Canada to get medicine for his own kids. Ned meets his Canadian counterpart and quickly learns they're very different when he's offered marijuana, since it's legal in that country.
Say, would you like to puff on a Reeferino? It's legal here.
13 years later, in 2018, recreational marijuana became legal in Canada. While Ned likely won't be making any trips back with Apu, Homer, and Grandpa, it's good to know that he was at least at the center of one of the coolest things The Simpsons predicted. Eating horse meat. The children at Springfield Elementary were, unbeknownst to them, digging into horse meat for lunch in a 1994 episode. Almost 20 years later, so were we. The horse meat scandal in Europe revealed that foods advertised as beef contained other meats, including that of equine nature. Smartwatches and camera phones. A futuristic 1995 episode of The Simpsons called Lisa's Wedding showed Lisa's fiancé making a phone call using his watch. Like that would ever be possible. Oh, hang on a minute. Nowadays, wearable tech is everywhere, but Springfield called it first. The same episode also features Lisa and Marge FaceTiming, or as they called it then, using a picture phone. The US beat Sweden in curling at the Olympic Games. In one of the biggest upsets at the 2018 Winter Olympics, the US curling team won gold over the favorite, Sweden. This historical win was predicted in a 2010 episode of The Simpsons called Boy Meets Curl. In the episode, Marge and Homer Simpson compete in curling at the Vancouver Olympics and beat Sweden. In real life, the US men's Olympic curling team won a gold medal after defeating Sweden, even though they were behind, which is exactly how it played out on The Simpsons. Did The Simpsons production team have a profit? Many people are fascinated by how accurately The Simpsons series has predicted a number of events. Some may even wonder if there is a prophetic element to their production team. However, the producers have explained that their team is composed of experts in various fields, such as geography, physics, and chemistry. Whenever they create something, they carefully discuss and consider what major events may occur in the future, and then incorporate those elements into the show. Despite these explanations, there are still those who believe in conspiracy theories surrounding The Simpsons predictions. Some compare them to the predictions in the Illuminati card game, both of which are believed to have been pre-planned by secretive forces. The Illuminati card game, which was released in 1995, also accurately predicted a number of events such as the 9/11 attacks, the nuclear attack on Japan, the Honshu earthquake on March 11, 2011 in Japan, and even pandemics. The prophets are waiting for verification. There are many opinions about accurate predictions. In addition, there are many predictions in The Simpsons that have not happened yet. A giant dome hovering over England. The Simpsons had an episode depicting a scene where a giant dome was placed over England to avoid toxic pollution. Currently, we cannot imagine why England would do such a thing. But after the outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine war, concerns about nuclear war in Europe have recently been raised. Robots will take over human life. In one episode of Season 6, a group of robots attacked the Simpson family. Half human, half robot police were legalized to replace humans. Currently, artificial intelligence AI is increasingly being applied to human life. The possibility of intelligent robots taking over humans cannot be ruled out. Virtual food. In one episode, the Simpsons family time traveled to around 2030. They used virtual reality glasses and food tubes to eat virtual soft candy. Currently, the Royal Caribbean Group Cruise Company has begun to introduce virtual food experiences. Occupying Mars. In an episode of the TV series, when the second daughter Lisa decides to volunteer for a one-way trip to Mars, her mother Marge is not happy about it. The mission's goal is to colonize Mars before 2026, and eventually, the whole family enlists in this mission. In 2051, Marge and Lisa arrive on Mars. In reality, we see that Elon Musk has announced that SpaceX will send 1 million people to Mars by 2050. In addition, The Simpsons animated series also features highly attention-grabbing plots, such as time travel, time and space. Future New York will sink to the bottom of the sea. The US economy will plummet and almost go bankrupt after President Trump's term. The US will have its first female president in 2028. President Trump's daughter Ivanka will run for the presidency. There will be flying cars in the future. Japan's continent will disappear, and so on. These are all very interesting topics that everyone is concerned about. Let's wait and see which prediction will come true.